Before I bring the panel into the discussion and hear you at the panel, and we can resonate with what Nick was saying, but before I bring, I want to ask you a real question. It's really bothering some of us business people. You've talked about innovation that matters for our company and the world, and you mentioned some issues, healthcare, government, the environment, Africa. My heart cares for those too, okay? As a human being, as a citizen of the world. But I've got my business hat on, okay? The other you mentioned is not the classical places for innovation, not the lab perhaps, it's everybody. It's a globally integrated enterprise. And once again I say, but then how would I manage this and capture the value in this? So both in terms of the motive, the cause, as well as the way I'm organizing, how do I make a business out of this?
I don't know, does this work? This one doesn't work, I guess.
Yeah.
It's on. Is it on? Is it on? It's not on, is it? You can hear it? You really can, huh? That's interesting, I can't. Huh? Barely, yeah.
We'll try this.
I'll go with this one. That's okay. Yeah. We have all kinds of technology up here. How about this one? Yeah, that one works. So I understand exactly what you're saying, which is why I kind of elaborated this cultural approach. I think you do make a business out of all of this. I didn't take you through, for instance, those 10 grand ideas that came out of our innovation jam. It would not surprise me that those 10 ideas in the next 2 years will generate over $1 billion worth of revenue for the IBM company. Now, what you have to do is you have to build a supportive process that remains lightweight. I mean, we're an enterprise of $90 billion, so I mean, we could smother you to death, in 5 minutes, with rules, processes, procedures, and all kinds of organizational niceties. I'll leave it that way. So what you need to do, if you're really interested in cultivating this, is you have to end up having success points. So the whole world in IBM is looking at these 10 projects, Arun. If none of these make it to the end, then I've totally failed, and I probably turned off 365,000 people, and they'll go back to doing what they've been doing the way they've been doing it. So we give them business people as well as just good idea people. You have to shape them almost into an emerging business opportunity group. You got to give them some marketing skill. You got to give them some business skill. I said multidisciplined, right? So you have to kind of deliver that multidisciplined capability to them. You do that, and they'll keep rewarding you with more and more of these on a regular basis. We have another approach, by the way, works 24 hours a day, that we created called Think Place, where we literally give our employees a web portal where they can put up their ideas, put up their innovative ideas, and we have catalysts who will nurture those ideas, develop those ideas with them, and either move them into the business and pay them. We'll give them money. We'll give them $5,000 bucks. We'll give them $10,000 bucks. We'll pay them for their contribution to the business, or we'll tell them, nice idea, not going to work here. Move on. Give me your next best idea. We're not confused. Our chairman is not confused. This does feel good. This does have that sense of fulfillment. Right place, right time. For the company, for the world that matters. But if it doesn't matter to the top line and to the bottom line, those are nice things to do, but we're not an eleemosynary organization, and if we don't grow and make money, we're not in business. And having had a near-death experience, trust me, that's completely burned in to everybody who matters brain right now in IBM.
Thank you, Nick, but do business analysts get this?
So we've been working with the business analysts. That's a tough group of people to work with in general, and to get them to see it in a little different light. Some of them do. Some of them do. And I think the more successes we have, and the more we bring these things to the marketplace, and the more it becomes obvious to them that you couldn't have connected that to this if you hadn't done something different, or if you hadn't done it in a different way. Yeah, I think we'll make more and more of them converts. Right now we seem to have settled them down with our view of our strategy, our model, and our execution against it. They like the thought of IBM being something more than just a technology-based company. They like the thought of IBM trying to become the innovator's innovator, which is the path that we're on. So on any given day, I'd say the majority of them do get it. There's always going to be issues, and that's up to us to manage and us to deliver against.
Thank you. You know, really once again, as a human being, I wish you the best. I wish for our sake you would succeed. And yes, you have to make money in the process, and I'm sure you would make the money in the process. Well, let me bring our panel into it. There are three persons on the panel, all with a lot of experience. And Lemuel Lasher, I asked him, how would I introduce him? And he gave me a few words to say about himself. He's the Chief Innovation Officer at CSC, been there 18 years. He says it's a full-time job. He's focused on innovation, as his title even suggests, looks at research, strategic alliances, the knowledge networks, and the service portfolio. The two other panelists, Jay Menon, who was in the earlier discussion this morning. So Jay, you might have to connect some things here.
Yes.
Jay is currently the Group CIO and CTO at Corporate Director at Bharti Televentures Limited. All of us in India know why we admire that company, and those outside, I'm sure, have heard of Bharti by now. And we have, finally, Rajiv Modi, who's Chairman and CEO of NASSCOM Communication Technologies Limited. Now, what I like to bring the panel in is just taking off where we were with Nick just now, but just to let me tell you a bit about what our discussion was in the panel earlier this morning, and Nick, you might resonate with that too. As we were discussing this morning, we felt also we needed a 21st century view of innovation. It was not about R&D expenditure in the labs and the patents that we got. As you said, I mean, no one could beat IBM at that. Yeah, you would keep doing that, but you're doing something different, and why to do that? So we said we need a new model. The second thing we said was it's going to have to be a collaborative model. It's not just a firm in itself. And it's also not just about a department in the firm. It's collaboration within the firm and then collaboration amongst many actors across the boundaries of the firm. Some are in business, and some are in government, and some are in NGOs and in social society. But what's the goal? And since we were many from India, and it's a country with tremendous growth and excitement, but by God, it has huge problems, and we want to, the companies from the outside like IBM, I know you're doing a lot for our issues of education and healthcare, like you mentioned, but our Indian firms too. So let's just take India and just came naturally. So we had an expression of what a goal might be, and maybe Rajiv would put it into his own words very quickly and effectively. Why don't you? What was the goal?
You want me to go for it?
Yeah. Jay, sorry.
Yeah?
Jay,
No, that's
sorry,
okay.
Jay. Sorry.
Well, actually, it was very simple. We said for the past decade, we've been on a crusade to bring dial tone to 1 billion people. Wouldn't it be nice if you could now expand that vision and actually bring information tone to 1 billion people? So all kinds of information that's available to rural India, to every individual in the country, as a result of which it would spur and fuel economies, it will fuel incomes at the bottom of the pyramid, et cetera, and as a result of which we would create a natural clustering of the industries without having to force fit a collaborative model, but actually a self-evolving, a self-perpetuating collaborative model to work us towards that vision. And that was, so in a nutshell, I would say, Arun, we were just talking about information tone to 1 billion people.